Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alan and here we go. Do you ever wondered what is the best-selling Kia? Well, now you're gonna know today because we actually have it right over there. The best-selling Kia by far is the Sportage by a huge margin. Not even the Telluride even beats the numbers that the Sportage comes from. Why? Why does it beat them? Why does it sell so good? Well, let's be honest. Kia did sell 750,000 cars last year alone, and a huge portion of them was the Sportage. So why? Why is it that the Sportage is whether good or bad? We're gonna find out right now. This is the SX Prestige all-wheel drive. 25 miles a gallon on average, 27 on the highway. Not terrible for an all-wheel drive. 2.5 liter, like 168 horsepower, which let's be honest, that's not impressive numbers. They do come out with a hybrid with a 1.6 liter turbo that does a lot better on the power and a lot better on the mileage. So if you're looking for something like that, that's an idea. I want to thank our friends at Boomer Kia. They're the ones who said, hey, you know, take a car or go do a review, and I want you guys to go to them. Honestly, if you're in Oklahoma City here or you're looking for a Kia in general, go to a Boomer Kia. They are really down to earth. I don't feel like they're pushy, and honestly, that Kia Telluride, the review, if you haven't seen the review, check this out. We were never pushed to get it, and I felt like it was more like we just went in there to buy a car. It felt great. It didn't feel pushed, and a lot of dealerships are pushing, and I don't like that. Now back to the Kia Sportage. This is the 4X, so this does have a little bit of an off-roading package to it. Pretty simple, open the back gate. There's actually plenty of room. There is not a third row in here, but it does come with a cover. You see my bag there, and hey, it actually comes with a spare tire, which is crazy because let's be honest, they don't come with spare tires anymore. They come with a pump and that is it. But let's be honest, if you're a mother or a father or a small family with 2 kids, this is the perfect car. It realistically is. Back seats, plenty of entrance room on both ends, plenty of room. We do have USB port chargers here, a little bit of storage here. You got a little bit of vents here. You got a full sunroof in here for both front and back parties. You do also get a purse holder is what I was told. I didn't know what this was for a while there, but I had to look it up. It is actually a purse holder, which is, well, I guess kind of nice. The purse is no longer in the front seat's problem. It is now the back seat's problem. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but if you have kids, I wouldn't leave my purse in front of my kids. I don't have a purse, but if I did have a purse, this is all getting messed up.
What's in the bag?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I got a bit of trust issues when it comes down to my own personal belongings on that. Front end, that actually does come with these weird looking floor mats. They're not even all weather, maybe they're all weather, but they feel weird, and that's the way we're going. I mean, cool, I guess a lot of mud wouldn't go in there. The 2.5 liter is not a gutsy motor. It's actually quite depressing, honestly. It is just, there's no guts. No guts, no glory, but I tell you what, if you're looking for a point A to point B, you're in the right area. This is actually a really good car for point A to point B. If you're looking for, you know, the big thundering, you know, loud noises, you're not gonna get any of that. You're looking at simplicity. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, especially for the grand total. With everything that's in this, $38,000, $38,700. They range anywhere between 29 to 39 is about their range. And honestly, for an SUV, 5-person SUV, that's not half bad. Now, let me tell you this car is not perfect. It does come with a side of, there's a lot of problems with this thing. Now, the biggest flaw I have seen so far is the air conditioner, which as you push the start button, everything lights up, the dash gets all pretty, and it's a full-size dash all the way across, which that's quite nice. What's also pretty cool is it makes you feel very impressive when you switch it into sport mode. You got normal, sport, boom! I'm in sport mode, everything turns red, and now it's aggressively slower, weirdly enough. I don't know how it does that, but it does. You do have heated and cooled seats in the front, you have a heated steering wheel, and guess what, y'all? It's impressive. I know it's hard to believe this, but with everything that's going on, you actually have a shifter. That's a beautiful thing. Anymore of that stuff's disappearing, and I want a shifter. I don't want a dial knob, I want a shifter, and this has got it. I don't like small cars, that's my own personal opinion, but if I had to use it, I would use it. But the one thing I cannot stand is how the air conditioner and radio work. It is dumb. I don't care for it, and let me show you why. Right here is all your controls. So you have your fan mode, and then if you push this again, it brings up the radio mode. And then you have the dial to turn up and down the volume and change your tracks, seek, and all the rest of that. You know how long that took me to figure that out? That was the most annoying thing ever. Absolutely annoying. But so just let's take that out of the equation. It's actually not a half of a bad car. And if you notice, they have the nice vents here, which kind of look like the front end. If you take a look at that, they put the front end, the vents on the inside, just like they are on the outside. Isn't that crazy? A little bit different on the outside, but still, they still have the same unique little design, which I like that little flair, that adds a little extra zing to it. Now there is a spot on here where between here and here there is no screen, which I guess that's fine. Here's my problem. I just have a problem with the digital age. The digital goes out. What do you do at that point? You do nothing. Everything relies on digital. There is a few things in this car that I absolutely do treasure, and the one thing is the seats. The seats are extremely comfortable. I'm sitting in here squishing this bad boy down because I don't know what I don't squish. Bed, couch, my woman. Anyway, and another good thing is those folks who've got Stanleys, and some of them have the really big base where you can't fit it in a cup holder. Well, Kia solved that with a simple button. Pretty simple. You got this huge cup holder and you put a little drink here, then you close it up and you got a smaller drink hole. What the hell? That's pretty awesome. Pretty simple. This car is nothing but simple. And at the end of the day, for just under 40 grand, I know that's still a lot. That's still a lot of money. This isn't half bad. It has no massaging seats. It does not have a heads-up display. It does not have that throw in your face like a lot of American cars do, which I do appreciate. And it's everything you possibly need. Heated and cooled seats, the heated steering wheel, everything that works functionally except for that AC. The AC is quite annoying. It has a full-on sunroof in here. It does not have things where you can't just clean off easy. It's got a really good stereo in here. The Harman Kardon stereo is a really good stereo. It's got memory seats. It's got the electric handbrake, and that's one thing I do like about Kias. I've noticed. I've gotten into some cars where I put on the handbrake, and when I go to put it in drive, it doesn't disengage the handbrake. It just sits there with the handbrake on, and then you have to find the handbrake and disconnect it. Kia, once you put it in anything but park, it will throw the handbrake off, and then you can proceed like you never even had the handbrake on, which is a really nice feature. For legroom, it's not half bad. I'm a 6'3" person, right? That is my seating position. And as I get in here, I mean, I wouldn't say it's made for long journeys, but I do have a little bit of legroom, not enough for my own finger. It's not half bad. I probably wouldn't sit back here any longer than 3 hours. It has a wireless charger. Sits pretty good sized pocket right there in the front. When it comes down to storage, this car doesn't have that much in storage. You have obviously the center console, you've got stuff in the doors, you got these big old pockets where your wife can just shove a bunch of receipts in there, because that's what mine does. And then you've got, you know, just small bits of room everywhere, and it's not real like huge storage. You don't have storage spaces everywhere. The glove box is a little on the small side, but it is a small car. I wasn't looking for anything spectacular when I got in here, and I'm kind of glad I wasn't. I didn't have high expectations, and I'm really glad I wasn't. But if you're going to go out looking for a particular car, something like this, where it's simple, and when I'm going to push this hard, it is simple. It is not something that you really have to get a hold of a manual to figure out every little thing. It takes a little bit of common sense on how to turn off some of the settings. And let me tell you, crash avoidance is actually not half bad. It will hit the brakes, it will yell at you, and then when you go in reverse, if anything's coming from side to side, it will beep and shake the steering wheel. It will do all of that just to get your attention, which is a nice feature. It does have a diff lock. It does have auto hold. It does have where it will slow the car down as you're going downhill. It has a lot of good features. It's even got a smart mode on here, and the smart mode will decide whether, however aggressive you are with the pedal, of what it's going to give you in return. It's a great little car. I can't see anything majorly wrong that would stop me from getting it. Besides, yes, I know it's a Kia Why would you ever want to get a Kia? Well, the other question is why wouldn't you? Besides the fact of what you see on social media, let's be honest, that could happen to any brand. It's not one brand in particular that's always having problems. A lot of brands are having problems. And you used to be able to go to Toyota to get away from those problems, but you can't even do that anymore. So why not take a little bit cheaper of a car? You got a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, and just do your regularly maintenance. Once you stop doing your regular maintenance, of course something's gonna happen. It's kind of obvious when you don't take care of something, it tends to kind of go haywire or go bad. And yes, there are some people out here who've had issues that doesn't involve that, which that's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. I understand it's a huge inconvenience, but which brand of car have you ever... I've gotten in plenty of brands of cars where there's always been a recall, there's always been something, and yet I haven't gotten in a car where it's just giving me nothing but problems. But we've had... Okay, I'm a little biased on this, so please beware of that. Bias beware. I've had a handful of these Kias, and over the years, especially in the last 10 years, they've gotten so good. They really have. And they may not be just what you're looking for, which is fine. But this is for the person who's like, I want to look into a Sportage. So what am I looking forward to? Well, the 2.5 liter, like I said, is gutless. And it takes a hot second for it to go. It does take a while for it to want to get going, shift down to that gear and take off, which quite honestly is pretty annoying. But you didn't get this car for speed. You did not get the car for the imaginary V8 that's not underneath the hood. You got it for gas mileage. And with that being said, the gas mileage isn't that terrible. It is an all-wheel drive system, so you're not going to get the greatest gas mileage. But if you get the hybrid system, you get the gas mileage and you get a little bit more power, and you get that idea of going about 500 miles to the tank versus probably the 300 this thing does. And the tank size is a little on the smaller side. Oh, and by the way, the auto on and off is still a feature in this car, even on a 4-cylinder car, and it's just a simple push button. I've gotten into a few where you're really searching for it, trying to find that button, and it's right here. There's so much stuff going on right here by your hand. You've got the camera where you can look at the front. You got a camera in the front, you got a camera in the back. When you turn on your turn signals, and honestly, the cameras on both the mirrors is clear. It's very, very clear. Even the reverse camera is very clear and really good for what it is. I'm going through a pretty rough area. On this track, there's a lot of divots, there's a lot of bad areas, and I don't hear anything rattling. Everything is nice and solid. I don't hear things rattling off. I don't... Why did you do that? So what's the problem? Why... You know what I think it is, the main issue? Us Americans have got so much pride in ourselves that we can't look outside the box. And that's upsetting, because outside that box is a Kia. Put it in sport mode. See the dash light up like you're in an Indy car. Throw it into the corners, hit that little pothole, and just keep going straight. Little brake, and that little movement you hear back there, you think that's loose? That's actually my camera bag back there moving around. Dab of the brakes. Brakes are nice and responsive. I wish the engine just a little bit more out of it. A little bit more. Give me about 200 horsepower, not the number you're giving me. I know you can give me just a little bit more out of this. God, do I rarely ever get into a car where I'm madly liking it. My wife introduced me to Kia Tellurides, and I was like, God, there's no way in hell I'm touching a Kia. They used to be throwaway cars. Used to buy one, get one free type of deal back in the day. Now, that's changed. That has changed dramatically. Move over, Chevy, Ford, Dodge, especially Dodge. Move over. I think there's a new kid in the block. His name starts with Kia. And God, he's good. I think I know why this car's been their #1 seller. It's roomy. It's got pretty decent gas mileage. It's cheap. And I hate to say this, I know that's a hard subject to even talk about, because cheap isn't always the same for everyone, but realistically, it's cheap. It's good, good, good. And you got a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. God. You know what? If you're watching the end of this video, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for participating. And there are more videos coming. Yes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a little Kia spit here because I know the owner of Kia and he's been so gracious to help us out with this channel that we're gonna do a little spit just for them, for Kia here, because they're just, they got more cars out there, and let's see how good or bad they really are. Thank you for watching. Please go to Boomer Kia. If you're in Oklahoma City, go to Boomer Kia. They are the greatest people out there to help you out. They're really down to earth. They don't smell like cigarette smoke. They're just down to earth. Let's hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let's get this channel going. Let's see where this can go. And we'll see you all for next time. Thank you. Love you. Goodbye.